Look, I'm a Miami Heat fan. And so when you talk about the culture, you talk about everything that they're built on, and talking about playing hard, working together, being a team, nobody above the team, he violated all the code.
Facts.
Then he's out there shooting one-legged fadeaway three-pointers from the corner.
You let Dirk do it?
Yeah. Then he got his hair, the emo fade. Like, it was too much. He had to go. He had to go. Pat Riley. I respect Pat Riley for this because he's always said, like, hey, man, I don't deal with this. So when he was cutting up, he sent him to his room. And then he's like, nah, dog, I'm not dealing with this. So he had to go. He ran it out. The thing is, Jimmy Butler's 35. He still retained the bag because he got a 2-year extension from the Warriors when he signed.
111
for 2 years.
21.
I mean,
121?
Yes. 60.
Oh, I read it wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had an extra 10?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hey, he just got fined like $5 million. He's like, okay, how you doing?
get that
Carry
back.
the 2. I got it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they pay for it. So,
But in California,
so it worked. Yeah.
opposed to tax-free state.
Yeah.
So
that's real.
Took a haircut.
He took a little haircut.
Hey,
and he,
Ungrateful,
with that, though?
disrespectful ass Heat fans out there that don't appreciate what Jimmy Butler brought to your team.
Thank you.
I can't understand. Jimmy Butler, the Heat would not have been relevant over the last couple of years without Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a winner. Now, I will say Jimmy Butler has been a malcontent pretty much everywhere he goes.
That's who he is.
The kind of malcontent he is, I will take him any day because all he wants to do is really win. Right. And he wants to get the most out of his teammates.
Does he really want to win and then doesn't play as much or as hard in the regular season?
No. I
mean, you can't have a reputation and a nickname like that. And it's, you know what I'm saying?
I think you can say that about a lot of players in the NBA. It's a long season in the NBA. 82 games in the NBA, and you want to hold your best for the best. When playoff time comes, would you rather have a player that plays hard and gets MVPs all the time, or win championships all the time?
No, I get him wanting to play for championships and all that all the time. He took time off, but that's not really the way that he get down.
But you know when it started? This
yeah.
started because when at the end of the season, when Jimmy Butler said, "Hey, had I been there for the Heat last year, had I been there,
this is what I said a couple weeks ago,
this would have been a different outcome." Who would, if you're a Heat fan, don't you want your best player to say, hey, I've been there.
But what if you're a Heat teammate?
And Pat told him to shut up.
And Pat told his grown man to shut up.
That's what started this.
Pat said,
that's when I feel like Pat let his ego get in the way. Because that's your guy, and he's shown and proved that he can talk like that. Because he took you to 2 finals.
He did, but
nobody, you could, as Pat's the GM, or president of operations, you couldn't get nobody else in there to help Jimmy. So he's there by himself carrying the team. If he want to talk like that, let him talk.
But hold on. Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. But watch this be right too. Pat can also say, shut up, man. Like, we only want to talk about what we know we can control, what we did, etc. But either way, they're both right and they're both wrong if they catch feelings over the other side.
Let me ask you a question, though.
You know you hiding real problems when the reason you gonna trick off all this money and lose your spot in this team is because he told you not to say that. You got real problems.
I mean, I don't think he thought that in that moment, though.
But that's the point. It grabs something else. And maybe you didn't like, look, by the way, I don't like this either. By the way, I don't like this either. And you ain't giving me enough room or respect as a star. Whatever it is, it wasn't just, I told you not to say that.
But I think
it was the money.
I think
he wanted
He definitely wanted the money.
He wanted extension.
I feel like Jimmy was always doing the same thing. He was functioning, operating the same way, just like how he was taking his own private flights. It was all allowed. As soon as he spoke out against Pat, now all of a sudden you want him to do this. You don't like what he's doing, but he's been him. This is what he's been doing from day one.
That's
so you can't get mad at him now for doing what he's always been doing and what you always allowed him to do.
Yeah.
So I think Pat is wrong in that.
Always allowed him to do, like, this is the tough part about reining in a star. Like, we're going through this in basketball right now. We're trying to be tougher on the kids. Our coaches, like, we got, I told you we got spanked this weekend, but we play some older kids. It doesn't matter. We got spanked. And coach, I'm talking to him at between games, and I'm like, Coach, you got to be tough on these kids, accountable. The way I coach kids that are 9 like they're 19. Like, I'm not mean, I don't yell, I'm patient, but everything you do is going to be about accountability.
Right.
Because this is why I always tell them when they be like, well, it's hard for the kids to focus. I was like, no, it ain't. Because I was like, if ice cream truck, shoot. I say, I want you to run that fast on the next play.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know I could run that fast. And that's it. So long story short, he's trying to rein in kids. Gene knows. That's tougher than just raising them the right way from hello. when Pat tried to rein in Jimmy like, dog, what you talking about?
It's too late for that.
It's too late for that. And other guys get away with this.
There you go. There you go. It's one thing to have a college kid, a high school kid, somebody who hasn't made that name for themselves, somebody who isn't a superstar, to keep them humble in a sense. It's all about the team. When they are already at a status, when they are already a superstar status, when is the last time you ever heard a coach, you heard a owner, a general manager call out his star player like that?
I don't have it. I don't got it on mental record. You're right.
It's never happened. So, and I understand Pat Riley is who he is, and Pat Riley is the NBA. I understand that he is. And his name and his reputation and his word means a lot. But when you got your star player who just basically took you to the finals a couple of years ago, basically is saying what he said. Hey, had I been there, we would have been different because of what his reputation is in the postseason, and he believes in himself that much. And you say Jimmy needs to shut up.
Well, that's disrespectful. Didn't they bring Kobe in a little bit? Didn't they rein Kobe in a little bit and he was almost traded? Okay, I digress.
And Mike, when you have built a reputation and built your brand on being playoff Jimmy, and you're not there for the playoffs, then what are you talking about?
But it wasn't like it was an injury. It's because he was hurt.
Yeah, I know he's hurt.
So then stay hurt. Let your mouth be hurt too.
Right.
Your mouth should be on IR
exactly.
too. We shouldn't be hearing
You're hurt. You're playoff Jimmy. You're not here for the playoffs. And then you're going to tell us what you would have done.
I think that's something those are things that's a conversation you have behind closed doors. You don't bring it to the media. Because if you would have brought family business, if he would have brought family business out to the media himself as a player, he would have been called out by ownership and the fans. So when the owner calls out and says something in the media,
let's keep it real. Okay, I know one thing, and look, the star player treatment. There was a moment where I felt like I was a star, whether I was or not. I wasn't like national and billboards everywhere, but you couldn't go down to San Diego without it feeling good for me.
Know that, dude? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I remember, it's so weird. This is what changes from being the Buffalo backup to Bruce Smith to, oh, okay, now I'm starting and he's gone and I'm still not a star. And then you get the name, the contract. You want somehow in daily life that everyone acknowledges you. Forget the bank, forget the money. I want to do something that's different than y'all can do. So the flex comes out, right? So I remember this one moment. This is a moment I had to humble myself. We had chapel every Saturday night, and this is ignorant. All right, so it starts at like 7 p.m. I'm late. Okay, nothing wrong. James is late today. And you. Nothing wrong, right?
It happens.
But I'm going to basically.
Hold on, where was he doing the light skin segment? I need a backup. Wait a minute, man. Man, you making us look bad, bro.
He European like too. That's that European like. That mayonnaise up in there, sucker. Dog, in Europe they got the lightest and the darkest like black people. Dog, ain't no middle ground. Some of them soccer players be midnight. I'm like, damn, some dark-haired dudes. All right, here we go. Okay. So I'm like, I know I'm late, and I got a Hummer convertible with bumps, like 415s or something crazy. I don't know what it was. And I did not turn down my music. I parked right in front of the chapel. It's right there on the other side of the facility. And literally walk in, and chapel's looking at me like this. And I was like, oh, sorry. So then I felt kind of weird. Went in the locker room, still Master P, shaking the whole building. Go in the locker room for like 5 minutes. Then go back to chapel, sit there for a sec, interrupt again, and then just walk out. Now, literally in that moment, maybe because it was God, I humbled myself, but I was like, they ain't gonna do nothing. And I was like, dang. Now, if they would have did something, I wouldn't have humbled myself. You know what I would have did? Responded to them not giving me some preferential treatment. I think because in that moment that Jimmy may have humbled himself, they called him out. He take the battle from within and take the battle out on Pat Riley. That's what I see from them stars. They don't want to get checked. They want to check themselves.